The Aurora's flame slipped through the darkness, leaving the rim behind. Erythra's coordinates glowed softly on the alien map, pulsing like a heartbeat. Mara Voss stood at the viewport, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. Her crew had survived their first encounter with the Predators, but that victory was only temporary. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of beings who saw humans as nothing more than prey. "Captain," Sarah Lean said, breaking the silence, "the ship is stable, but the alien tech, it's unlike anything I've seen. I need more time to understand it. I can't risk using it in battle until I know what it can really do." Mara nodded. "Do your best. Every day counts. We can't afford mistakes, not now." Jory, the scout, leaned against the console, scanning incoming messages. Other human colonies are responding. Many are scared, hiding, but they're curious. They want to know what we've found. Curiosity was dangerous, but it was also humanity's greatest strength. Mara remembered that. The same trait had allowed humans to survive for centuries on hostile worlds, to explore new stars and to adapt faster than anyone expected. Hours later, the Aurora's flame entered a remote human enclave, a mining colony built into the side of a barren, rocky planet. Smoke rose from the chimneys and small ships docked along the landing platforms. Humans went about their work cautiously, eyes flicking toward the sky as if expecting predators to descend at any moment. Mara and her crew were greeted with suspicion. The colonists had heard rumors of alien technology, of a ship that dared to fight back. They had waited decades for a spark, and now it had arrived. "We've come to help," Mara said, addressing the colony leaders, "and to warn you. The predators are not invincible. Humans can survive. Humans can fight back, but we must act together." The colonists exchanged uneasy glances. Many had been hiding for years, fearful and beaten down. Some shook their heads. "We're just farmers and miners," one man said. "We can't fight them." "Then you'll never have to fight them as prey," Mara replied firmly. "We will teach you how to defend yourselves. We will unite. The galaxy is bigger than fear, bigger than them. You just have to believe it." Skepticism remained, but curiosity stirred among the people. That night, the colony gathered around a large holographic table Mara had brought from the Aurora's flame. Sarah Lynn demonstrated the alien technology, showing how it could amplify human skills and enhance defensive systems. The effects were subtle but undeniable. Shields strengthened, energy beams fired farther, and systems responded faster than any human design had ever allowed. The colonists' eyes widened as hope flickered in their hearts. "This is our chance," Mara said, her voice steady. "A chance to change everything. But it won't be easy. The predators will not ignore us for long." She was right. Before dawn, sensors detected predator scouts entering the system. Their ships glided like shadows, scanning the planet's surface, seeking weakness. The humans scrambled to prepare. Mara's fleet was small, but with coordination, clever tactics, and the alien tech, they could survive. The first attack came like a storm. Predator ships fired plasma beams, slicing through the atmosphere and scattering mining equipment. Panic spread among the colonists, but Mara's crew held firm. Dax and Sarah coordinated the shields, deflecting the worst of the fire, while Mara directed countermeasures using the alien technology. Jory piloted the Aurora's flame with precision, weaving through enemy fire. Small energy pulses from the alien device disrupted the Predator's targeting systems, giving humans a fighting chance. The battle was chaotic. Metal screamed, energy crackled, and explosions lit the sky. Despite being outnumbered, the humans adapted. Using knowledge of the terrain, they lured predator ships into asteroid fields and volcanic vents where alien tech amplified human weapons. Predator vessels faltered, their attacks less coordinated than expected. Hours passed. The human defense was relentless. Colonists who had never held a weapon now fought with determination, improvising traps and ambushes. Every human, no matter their role, contributed. The predators, experienced in fighting large, predictable fleets, were caught off guard by human unpredictability. Finally, the predator scouts retreated, damaged and confused. Humans had survived their first real test. Exhausted but exhilarated, Mara gathered her crew and the colonists. "We did it," Dax said, wiping sweat from his brow. "We actually did it," Mara shook her head. "No, we survived. That's different from victory. The predators will be back, stronger and faster. We need more allies. We need more knowledge." That's why we're heading to Erythra. The colonists were eager to join. Some offered ships, resources, and supplies. Others volunteered to travel with Mara, learning how to fight and defend themselves. Slowly, humanity began to form a small, united force. During the next days of travel, Mara studied the alien map. It revealed more than a location. It showed paths, energy flows, and hidden systems that humans had never charted. Each coordinate hinted at technology or secrets that could strengthen humanity further. Sarah Lynn experimented with the alien devices, discovering ways to integrate them with human ships. Weapons became faster, shields stronger, and sensors sharper. The small fleet began to look less like prey and more like a rising power. One night, Mara stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars. She thought of the predators, towering, ruthless, and certain of their rule. They believed humanity was weak, insignificant, and easily controlled. They had underestimated humans before, and they would underestimate them again. "Captain," Jory said quietly, approaching her, "do you think we can really fight them? Not just survive, but win." Mara turned to him, her eyes fierce. "We already are fighting. And one day, Jory, one day we'll roar so loud that every predator in the galaxy will hear it. Humans are clever, adaptable, and relentless. That's how we survive. That's how we win." The fleet approached the outer edge of the Erythra system. The planet below was rugged, full of jagged mountains and dense forests. Scars of ancient civilizations were visible, ruins of a long-dead species, perhaps the same that had built the alien ship they had found. Landing was challenging. Mara led the fleet through violent storms, magnetic fields, and crumbling atmospheric shields. Yet step by step, humans touched the surface of Erythra, planting their feet on a world that had seen greatness long before humanity arrived. Exploration revealed hidden chambers beneath the mountains. Within, energy cores hummed, powering machines that could amplify entire fleets. The technology was advanced but fragile. Mara and Sarah Lynn carefully studied it, understanding that misuse could destroy everything. While the humans worked, distant sensors detected predator scouts again. But this time the humans were ready. Using clever traps, energy pulses, and the natural terrain, they ambushed the invaders. Predator ships were disabled, forced to retreat once more. The victory was small but symbolic. Humanity was learning. Humans could fight back. Humans could survive. And every day their strength grew, not just through technology, but through courage, unity, and determination. That night, Mara stood at the highest peak of Erythra, watching the stars. The galaxy was still ruled by predators, but their reign was no longer certain. A spark had been lit, a fire that would grow. Somewhere out there, the predators would notice. And when they did, humanity would be ready. Mara clenched her fists. "The galaxy is ours to fight for," she said softly, "and we will not hide anymore." The fire had ignited in the void, and it would not be extinguished. Erythra was quiet now, but the calm was fragile. Captain Mara Voss stood atop a jagged cliff, gazing at the alien ruins spread across the planet below. She felt the weight of destiny pressing on her shoulders. The planet held secrets, technology that could change everything, but understanding it would take time, patience, and courage. "Sarah, report," Mara called. Turning toward the engineer, Sarah Lynn wiped sweat from her brow, her hands glowing faintly from the energy of the alien devices. "The core systems are functioning," she said. "We can amplify ship power, shields, and weapons, but it's delicate. Even a small mistake could damage the entire fleet." "Then we proceed carefully," Mara said firmly. "We have no choice. Humanity cannot stay weak. The predators will return." Below, the human fleet adjusted to the planet's harsh environment. Ships hovered over jagged mountains, their engines thrumming against violent storms. Colonists worked tirelessly, learning to operate alien technology and reinforce defenses. For the first time, they were not just survivors, they were warriors in training. Jory, the scout, approached Mara with a data pad. "Captain, sensors picked up something. Moving." Outside the system, Mara's eyes narrowed. "Predators?" "Large group," Jory confirmed. "They're coming in force." "This is not a scouting party, they're attacking." Mara's heart quickened. The fleet was ready, but this would be the first major battle. The predators were relentless and organized. Their massive warships blocked out stars, casting shadows over Erythra. Their presence was overwhelming. "All ships prepare for combat," Mara commanded. "Use the alien tech wisely. Follow the strategy we practiced. Remember, humans are clever, adaptable, and unpredictable. That is our greatest weapon. The Predators struck first. Plasma beams tore through the sky, striking mountains and sending debris flying. The human fleet scattered, weaving through jagged cliffs and storm clouds. Alien technology hummed as shields flared and weapons powered up. "Fire at will," Mara shouted, "but focus on traps and ambushes, not brute force. Make them pay for every inch." Dax and Sarah coordinated the defenses. Energy pulses from the alien cores disrupted Predator targeting systems. Mines hidden in mountain caves triggered, sending enemy ships spinning out of control. The humans' knowledge of terrain, combined with the alien tech, allowed them to level the playing field. The battle raged for hours. Mara piloted the Aurora's flame through the chaos, striking weak points in the Predator formation. Every shot, every maneuver was precise. Humans worked together with a speed and creativity that the Predators could not anticipate. One Predator flagship, massive and menacing, moved to flank the human fleet. Its energy beams carved paths through mountains and rivers alike. Mara realized that defeating the ship could turn the tide. "Sarah, amplify the forward cannons," Mara ordered. "Jory, lead it into the canyon system." "We'll trap it." The plan was dangerous. One mistake could destroy the Aurora's flame and much of the fleet. But Mara's crew trusted her, and humans were never known for following simple rules. They thrived on ingenuity. The trap worked. The Predator flagship entered the canyon, thinking it had the advantage. But narrow walls and hidden energy pulses slowed it. Mines detonated around it, and Mara's ship struck critical points, disabling engines and shields. The Predator vessel groaned, then drifted helplessly. The fleet celebrated quietly. Humanity had struck a decisive blow against the Predators for the first time. Mara knew it was not a complete victory, but it was proof. Humans could fight. Humans could win. After the battle, Mara convened her team. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The Predators underestimated us. They always have. But now they know we are not prey, and we will not stop." Sarah Lynn worked tirelessly to integrate the alien technology further. Energy manipulators now allowed ships to move faster, react quicker, and fire with devastating precision. Human fleets that had been slow, fragile, and disorganized now became swift and formidable. Meanwhile, colonists trained in combat tactics, learning to coordinate attacks and defend settlements. Mara encouraged creativity and independent thinking. Humans had one advantage Predators could never fully anticipate: imagination and adaptability. One evening, as Mara walked among the colonists, a young technician named Lyra approached her. "Captain, I've been thinking, if we can use this tech on ships, why not on weapons for individuals? On armor? On small units that can strike anywhere?" Mara smiled. "Exactly, Lyra, that is the way humans win. We multiply our strength not just with machines, but with ourselves. Every person becomes a weapon of innovation and courage." The days passed quickly. Mara's fleet grew, strengthened by new allies from other human colonies. Word of human victories spread. Some colonies that had hidden in fear for decades now reached out, offering ships, supplies, and recruits. Humanity's presence was expanding, but danger was never far away. Sensors picked up another Predator fleet approaching, larger than any before. This time it was not just scouts or raiders, it was a full assault. The Predators had learned from the last defeat and were coming prepared. Mara studied the data. "They think brute force can crush us," she said. "But we will show them that intelligence, courage, and unity are stronger than fear." The humans prepared meticulously. Ships were positioned in ambush points, energy grids hidden in canyons, and reinforcements trained to strike where least expected. Every colonist, every pilot, every technician had a role. When the Predator fleet entered Erythra's system, Mara's plan unfolded perfectly. Mines, energy pulses, and rapid strikes created confusion. Predator ships collided or were forced into retreat paths. Human technology and tactics turned the battle into a calculated dance of strategy and precision. The flagship that had retreated before now faced Mara again. This time humans were ready. Using alien energy manipulators, Mara's fleet struck simultaneously from multiple angles. Predator shields faltered, weapons misfired, and chaos spread across their formation. Finally, the flagship was disabled completely, its power core cracked and sparking. Predator crews, shocked by human tactics, retreated in disarray. Humanity had won a decisive victory. For the first time, the Predators truly feared humans. Exhausted but exhilarated, Mara looked across her fleet. Ships hovered over mountains, fires lit by battle burned faintly, and humans celebrated quietly among the alien ruins. She knew this was only the beginning. "We've learned something important," Mara said to her crew. "Strength alone does not win wars. Strategy, courage, adaptability, and unity do. Humans have all of that and more. The predators may rule the galaxy, but we are no longer afraid." Sarah Lynn added. "And with the alien tech fully integrated, we're stronger than we ever imagined. The galaxy is changing, and we are leading that change." Mara nodded, staring at the stars beyond Erythra. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and unknowns, but humanity had begun to roar. They were no longer prey. They were a force to be reckoned with. Jory, standing beside her, asked quietly, "Do you think they'll ever stop coming?" Mara smiled, a fierce light in her eyes. "They will try. But they will never succeed. Humans are clever, brave, and relentless. Every attack will make us stronger. Every challenge will make us wiser. The galaxy will hear us, and they will know we are here to stay." The hidden weapon of Erythra had given humanity its first true advantage, but more importantly, it had awakened the spirit of humans across the stars. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and overwhelming power, and survived. The predators had underestimated them before. They would not make that mistake again. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity was no longer hiding. Humanity was ready, and somewhere in the dark reaches of the galaxy, the predators realized that for the first time, their dominance was truly being challenged. The fire of human courage burned brighter than ever, and the galaxy would never forget the roar that began on Erythra. The galaxy was watching. Though few worlds had seen humans fight, news traveled fast. Whispers of human cunning, bravery, and the strange alien technology reached even distant systems. For the first time, humans were no longer just victims. They were a force to be reckoned with. Captain Mara Voss stood on the command deck of the Aurora's Flame, reviewing star charts and battle plans. Her fleet, strengthened by new allies from scattered human colonies, now numbered over 50 ships. Though still small compared to the Predator fleets, they were faster, smarter, and coordinated in ways the Predators could not anticipate. "Reports are coming in from other colonies," Lieutenant Dax said, glancing at his console. "Several have joined us. Some bring ships, some bring weapons, some bring trained crews. The human fleet is growing," Mara nodded. "Good. Every ship, every person counts. Today we strike back, not just for survival, but to show the galaxy that humans will not bow to fear." Her plan was bold. A coordinated offensive against multiple Predator supply lines and communication hubs across 3 star systems. Mara had spent weeks studying Predator patterns, learning their weaknesses, and preparing ambushes that used alien technology, terrain, and human unpredictability. The fleet jumped into the first system. Mara's eyes narrowed as she scanned the enemy positions. Predator supply ships floated like dark sentinels, unaware of the trap waiting for them. "Divide into 3 squads," Mara ordered. "Squad Alpha follows me to the core hub. Squad Beta hits the supply lines. Squad Gamma stays in reserve, ready to strike wherever needed." The human ships moved with precision, faster than Predator scouts anticipated. Using energy manipulators from Erythra, Mara's fleet disrupted enemy targeting systems, creating confusion and hesitation. Small strike teams darted in, disabling key systems and disappearing before the Predators could respond. Colonists who had once feared for their lives now piloted attack vessels with skill and determination. Each human contribution mattered. Energy pulses disabled Predator shields, and human ingenuity turned terrain into a battlefield advantage. In the second system, a massive Predator transport convoy attempted to reinforce their forces. Mara's fleet lay in wait among asteroid clusters, hiding in plain sight. "On my mark," Mara said. Strike all at once, a chorus of beams and pulses erupted. Predator ships were hit from multiple directions, their formation collapsing. Confusion spread as humans used speed, strategy, and unpredictability to their advantage. Supply ships crashed into asteroids or were captured by daring boarding teams. Every success brought hope to humanity's scattered colonies. Transmission signals filled with messages of courage and determination, encouraging humans across the galaxy to join the fight. Mara's fleet moved into the third system, where the Predator command station floated above a gas giant. This was the heart of their operations in the sector, and Mara knew victory here would send a message louder than any words. Prepare the assault, Mara said. This is our chance to show them humans are not prey. The battle was fierce. Predator ships fired relentlessly and their defenses were strong. But human coordination, alien technology, and relentless courage turned the tide. The fleet moved like one organism, every ship responding to another, every maneuver calculated yet unpredictable. Mara led a strike team directly toward the command station. Energy pulses from Erythra amplified their shields and weapons. Predator fire bounced harmlessly off some vessels while others darted between attacks. Mara's strategy was clear. Disable the command systems, then retreat before reinforcements could arrive. Keep firing, she shouted. Focus on the control hubs. Disable their communications. The human assault worked. Predator systems failed one by one. Ships were forced into retreat, and the command station's central core exploded in a controlled detonation set by Mara's team. The explosion lit the gas giant's clouds visible across the system, a symbol of human defiance and ingenuity. Victory was celebrated quietly, yet powerfully. Mara stood before her crew, her voice calm but firm. We have proven that humans can fight. Not just survive, but strike. Not just hide, but inspire. Today, the galaxy has seen that humanity is no longer weak. The effect of their victories spread further than Mara imagined. Other alien species previously oppressed or ignored by the predators began to send emissaries to human colonies. They saw in humans a spark of courage and strategy that inspired hope. One alien delegate, a tall being with translucent skin and glowing eyes, approached Mara. Your people fight with strength of spirit, it said. We wish to join you. Together we can resist the predators. Mara nodded, understanding the importance of alliances. Humans were strong, but they were more powerful when they inspired others. With allies, even the greatest predators could be challenged. But Mara also knew this was only the beginning. The predators would adapt, retaliate, and attempt to crush humanity before it could grow stronger. Preparation, training, and careful planning would be essential. At night, Mara walked among the colonists and crew. Ships hovered silently, lights glinting off metal surfaces. Humans laughed quietly, shared meals, and discussed strategies for the future. For the first time in decades, hope was alive in their hearts. You think we can really change things? A young pilot asked Mara. We already are, Mara replied. The galaxy has never seen humans like this. Courage, intelligence, unity, these are our weapons. Fear is theirs. And fear can be defeated. She looked to the stars. Somewhere, predator fleets were regrouping, planning their next strike. Mara smiled, a fierce determination lighting her eyes. Humans had learned to fight not just with strength, but with ingenuity and heart. Every battle, every victory, made them stronger. Energy manipulators hummed quietly throughout the fleet, a reminder that technology and courage together could turn the tide. Ships moved with precision, weapons glowed, and human ingenuity ensured that every colonist, soldier, and pilot played a crucial part. Captain, Sarah Lynn said, standing beside Mara, we've integrated alien tech into every ship. Every weapon, shield, and system is enhanced. Humans can now compete with predators on an equal level, sometimes even better. Mara nodded. And we will keep improving. Every day we learn, every day we adapt, every day we grow stronger. The predators thought they could dominate the galaxy without challenge. They were wrong. Humanity has begun to roar, and we will not stop. The fleet continued its offensive, hitting predator systems in unexpected locations, cutting off supplies and freeing oppressed worlds. Colonists and allies joined, adding ships, manpower, and knowledge. Humanity's influence spread like wildfire. Even the predators, once confident in their rule, began to hesitate. They had never faced an opponent like humans, unpredictable, clever, and relentless. Every strike taught Mara and her crew more about strategy, leadership, and courage. By the time the offensive ended, humans had transformed from scattered survivors into a coordinated force. Colonies that had hidden for generations now celebrated unity, strength, and hope. They had seen firsthand that even the greatest predators could be challenged when humans worked together. Mara stood on the bridge of the Aurora's flame, looking at the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of danger, and still dominated by predators. But humanity had taken the first steps toward changing that. They had struck first, inspired others, and shown the galaxy that humans would no longer bow to fear. Humans are rising, Mara said quietly to herself. and we will roar louder than ever. The fire of courage burned in every human heart. Ships glowed with alien energy, and colonies prepared for the next challenge. Humanity had begun to take its place among the stars, not as prey, but as a force capable of shaping the galaxy's future. The predators had underestimated humans once, twice, and now they would learn that they could never take humanity lightly. The galaxy was listening, watching, and for the first time in centuries, humans were leading the charge. And somewhere in the dark reaches of space, the predators realized that the age of fear was ending. Humanity had begun to roar, and the sound would echo across the stars. The galaxy was changing. Systems that had trembled under predator rule now sent fleets to join humanity. Colonies once hidden and afraid now opened their doors, offering ships, weapons, and manpower. Across the stars, a new force was rising, one united, intelligent, and determined humans. Captain Mara Voss stood on the command deck of the Aurora's Flame, watching the stars streak past as the fleet jumped into hyperspace. The target, the core of the Predator Empire, where the strongest fleets, the largest warships, and the highest-ranking leaders waited. Humanity's rise had been swift, but this final step would test every skill, every plan, and every human heart. Captain, Lieutenant Dax said, glancing at the sensors. All Allied fleets are in position. Systems under Predator control are reporting uprisings. Colonists are resisting. They believe in us. Mara nodded. Good. Today we strike not as scattered survivors, but as the voice of humanity. Today the galaxy will see that we are no longer prey. The fleet emerged from hyperspace above the Predator's central stronghold. Warships loomed like mountains, casting shadows across orbiting moons. Energy shields glowed, pulsing with immense power. Mara knew that attacking directly would be suicide, but she also knew humans were clever. Strength alone did not win battles. Strategy, courage, and ingenuity did. Divide the fleet into 3 squadrons, Mara commanded. Squad Alpha distracts their main fleet. Squad Beta attacks supply and communication hubs. Squad Gamma follows me to the command center. Her plan relied on precision, surprise, and coordination. The alien technology from Erythra amplified human ships' speed and weapons. Humans could move faster, react quicker, and strike where the predators least expected. The predators struck first. Massive energy beams tore through space, shattering asteroids and knocking smaller ships off course. Mara's fleet dodged and weaved, using terrain and energy pulses to confuse the enemy. Forward cannons ready, Sarah Lynn called out. Energy manipulators at maximum. We can disable their shields if we time it right. Mara nodded. Do it, strike hard, strike fast. The humans attacked in waves. Ships darted in from unexpected angles, striking supply lines and communication arrays. Predator fleets used to predictable combat were thrown into chaos. Their leaders struggled to maintain control as humans moved with speed, flexibility, and relentless courage. In orbit above the main world, Mara piloted the Aurora's Flame toward the Predator command station. Energy manipulators flared, shields brightened, and weapons hummed with power. Boarding teams were prepared to strike at the heart of the Empire. Prepare for entry, Mara said. We hit the command station together. Timing is everything. The boarding teams launched, navigating corridors filled with alien technology. Predator guards reacted, but humans had studied their tactics. Using clever traps, ambushes, and small squads, they disabled key defenses and advanced toward the control hub. At the same time, the fleet outside engaged the remaining Predator ships. Explosions lit the sky as shields failed. Engines sputtered and warships collided. Humans coordinated attacks with precision, striking in waves while protecting each other. Finally, Mara reached the heart of the command station. She and her team hacked the core systems using Erythra technology. Energy pulses disabled the main shields, giving the fleet outside the advantage. Predator leaders realized too late that their empire was collapsing. Captain, Jory shouted. The shields are down. The fleet is vulnerable, Mara smiled. Then we finish this. The human fleet surged forward, striking the Predator's flagship and central stations. Explosions rocked space as the Empire's control shattered. Ships fled in disarray, systems fell silent, and humans cheered. For the first time, the Predators were defeated, not because of overwhelming force, but because of strategy, courage, and unity. Mara landed on the planet below to witness the aftermath. Colonists who had risen in rebellion greeted humans as heroes. Other species, inspired by the humans' courage, joined the celebrations. The galaxy was changing and humanity was leading the way. "You did it, Captain," Dax said. "The Empire. It's finished." Mara shook her head. "Not finished. Transformed. The galaxy has seen that no one can rule without challenge. Humans have shown the power of courage, ingenuity, and unity. That is how we survive and how we thrive." Across the stars, survivors of predator rule began to rebuild. Humans helped oppressed species establish governance, trade, and defense. Colonies once fearful now flourished. The galaxy was not perfect, but it was free from tyranny. Mara reflected on the journey. From the outer rim to Erythra, from small victories to a decisive offensive, humans had proven that strength alone did not define power. Courage, intelligence, and unity had carried them through impossible odds. Sarah Lynn approached, holding a datapad. "Captain, we've analyzed all remaining predator fleets. Their command is broken. Their technology is scattered. They cannot regroup quickly. Humanity has the opportunity to establish lasting peace." Mara nodded. "Then we must help rebuild, guide, and protect. The galaxy is ours to nurture, not just conquer. We fought to survive. Now we fight to ensure freedom for all." Night fell on the planet, stars glittering above. Mara walked among humans and allies, hearing stories of bravery, survival, and hope. Faces once filled with fear now shone with pride. Humans had taken their place among the stars, not as prey, not as victims, but as leaders and protectors. Jory approached again. "Captain, do you think the predators will return?" Mara smiled gently. "Perhaps, but they will never rule unchallenged again. We've shown the galaxy that fear cannot bind humanity. Courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than fear. We will rise whenever darkness threatens." Colonists cheered, ships gleamed, and humans celebrated together. Humanity's roar had been heard across the galaxy. The predators had underestimated them for centuries, but now they knew the truth. Humans were clever, brave, and unstoppable when united. Mara stood on the cliff, overlooking the planet's cities and ships. The stars stretched endlessly above. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges yet to come, but humanity had proven it could face anything. "The galaxy belongs to everyone," Mara said softly, "and humans will protect it. We have fought, we have won, and we will continue to rise. This is only the beginning." As dawn broke over the planet, light spread across mountains and valleys. Ships lifted into the sky. Colonies began rebuilding, and allies from distant systems arrived to join in unity. The galaxy was waking to a new era, one defined by hope, courage, and the enduring spirit of humanity. The predators had ruled without fear for centuries, but humanity had roared back. The sound echoed across the stars, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, courage and ingenuity could topple the greatest empires. And as humans looked to the future, they knew this was their time. The galaxy was theirs to explore, protect, and unite. No force could silence their spirit. No predator could stop their rise. Humanity had awakened, and nothing would ever be the same again. The fire of human courage burned brighter than any star. The galaxy was alive with possibility, and humanity's roar would echo forever. The planet Zephora shimmered under the light of its twin suns. Its cities were tall, gleaming towers that stretched like crystal spires into the sky. Alien ships of all shapes and sizes floated above the central hub, carrying members of the Galactic Council, the governing body of dozens of star systems. The Council was tense that day. A rogue faction from the outer systems had been causing trouble, and the Council had called an emergency meeting. Despite all the advanced technology around them, none of the Council members had expected the arrival of humans. The human ships were small, modest, and unassuming. Most of the Council members had laughed at the idea of humans being part of their discussion. "They are fragile," the Aelorian ambassador said, feathers rustling. "They cannot even survive in extreme conditions without support." Commander Elias Vorn stood on the bridge of the lead human ship. His brown eyes scanned the approaching city. His team of 30 soldiers moved calmly, their uniforms simple but neat, unlike the flashy designs worn by most alien forces. Yet, there was a quiet confidence in the way they carried themselves, an energy that made the others pause. "Prepare for landing," Elias ordered. His voice was calm but carried authority. "We are here to observe and assist. Remember your training and trust your instincts." The human soldiers nodded. Among them were engineers, medics, and tacticians, but every one of them could fight if necessary. They were the special forces, though no one in Zephora knew it yet. When their ships touched down, a small crowd of aliens gathered to watch. The Krathens, a reptilian species known for their brute strength, hissed quietly. "Look at them," one said. "So small. So ordinary. They cannot possibly be dangerous," but Elias moved with purpose. "Keep formation," he said. Even as they exited the ships, the humans were organized, precise. They did not rush. They did not panic. Every step seemed planned but natural, as if they had been doing it their entire lives. A low-ranking Elorian officer watched closely. He had been trained to detect even the slightest sign of deception or skill in others. He frowned. There was something unusual about the humans, something he could not name. The humans were led to the council hall, a massive dome with walls that glowed softly. Aliens of many kinds filled the seats, their eyes curious or suspicious. The humans stood quietly at the entrance. Elias bowed slightly, a gesture of respect that most aliens rarely used. The council speaker, a tall Krathen named Threxil, cleared his throat. "We have called this meeting to discuss the threat of the rogue systems. We will consider all advice. And now we hear from the humans. Speak." Elias stepped forward. His voice was calm and measured. "We are here to observe and assist. Our experience is in unconventional tactics and rapid adaptation. If allowed, we can help prepare your forces to respond effectively to any attack." A wave of laughter swept across the hall. Small and fragile humans claiming to train the council's forces, the ambassadors exchanged amused glances. "Perhaps we should begin with a demonstration," Elias suggested. He turned to his team, who immediately moved to set up a simulation area outside the hall. Within minutes, holographic targets, drones, and simulated enemy forces appeared. The aliens watched skeptically as the humans began their exercise. The soldiers moved as one, coordinating without visible signals. Drones were intercepted, defenses were reinforced, and traps were anticipated. The human team adapted instantly when the holographic enemy changed tactics mid-simulation. The Elorian officer's eyes widened. They think ahead. "They are not just reacting, they are predicting," he whispered to a colleague. After the demonstration, the humans gathered their equipment. Elias spoke again. "Our methods rely on creativity and adaptation, not just brute force. We train to use intelligence, observation, and teamwork to overcome any situation." A murmur ran through the council hall. Even the most skeptical members were beginning to doubt their assumptions about humans. Later, the humans were invited to inspect the council's standard army. It was impressive. Massive soldiers in heavy armor, advanced weapons, and high-speed ships. Yet the humans moved through the facility with ease. They quickly identified weaknesses in communication lines, supply chains, and defensive arrangements. Not once did they criticize harshly. They offered practical suggestions, small but effective. Threxil, the Krathen speaker, approached Elias privately. "You are different. Your soldiers are not strong, yet they command presence. How is this possible?" Elias smiled faintly. "Strength is not just physical, Threxil. It is courage, intelligence, and the ability to act when others hesitate. Our team has trained for this for generations." The Krathen did not fully understand, but he nodded. There was a sense of respect mingled with unease. By the end of the day, word had spread throughout Zephora. Even ordinary citizens began to whisper about the humans. "The humans, they are not ordinary," someone said. "Even the common soldiers have something special about them." That night, as the twin suns set, Elias walked through the city quietly. His team followed, blending with the crowd. They were not there to conquer or to boast. They were there to observe, learn, and assist. But the energy around them had changed. The aliens were no longer laughing. They were watching, curious and cautious. Back at the council hall, the Aelorian officer jotted notes into his datapad. "If humans can perform like this with our standards, imagine what they can do with the full council army," he thought. Elias returned to his quarters and checked the communications. "Prepare for the next phase," he instructed. "Tomorrow we begin training demonstrations with the council's troops. Keep focus. Remember, every lesson counts." The team settled down for the night. Sleep was brief but necessary. They knew the galaxy underestimated them, and that was fine. Underestimation was their greatest advantage. As the city slept under the glow of the twin suns, the humans rested calmly, unaware that their arrival had already begun to shift the balance of perception. To the council and its citizens, they were small, unassuming, and ordinary. But in the quiet of strategy rooms, in the careful observation of officers, a single thought grew louder. The humans are different. They are special, and that difference would soon be tested.